Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. Once again, I am your host, Josh Lilquist, and we are diving into the do's and the don'ts of the financial markets, how to get started if you're brand new, or how to have more consistency if you're just not where you need to be. And this is convenient for any income strategy, any wealth strategy. Anytime we talk about wealth, that's retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, and how to make smart investing decisions within those as well. If you did miss seats for that power trading workshop, simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that'll be for 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. Text investing to the number 210-210, or go to investing and tradinglive.com on the old interweb, and you can pick your own date there. We got a couple videos on there as well, so you can get an idea on what more to expect out of the Power Trading Workshop. We do appreciate all the followers and subscribers on the podcast. If you missed part of the show, just go to Investing and Trading Live, wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And for those that are watching the YouTube stream live, just go to Josh Lilquist on YouTube. So in this next segment, Al, I know you want to continue this discussion about supply and demand, and entry points and exit points, and how to get in, how to get out in the financial markets. And I want to talk more about that on the trading side. Since we're giving away seats to a power trading workshop, we have a lot of people out there that want to learn more about trading. It's a hot topic out there. It's a topic that people hear about, they see about it online. There's a lot of garbage online that you're being fed all the time, and they want to know more about the how to do it, not just information, because information in this type of field, it won't really help you because it's a skill.
It actually makes things more confusing. There's too much information out there that really gets away from what's critical.
Correct, yeah. So it's a skill that you got to build, and that's why we exist. We're a skill building academy. And it does start with a little bit of knowledge, and that's why we have these power trading workshops for people to get started. But then it's the how to actually apply it, because that's the application is the skill. So let's talk more about on the trading side. You have a lot of people that you've been really meeting with lately that are really doing well financially, have great jobs, but they want to do more, and sometimes it takes extra income to do more, whether it's save more for later to build that wealth bucket, or maybe it's just to have more fun or time. Sometimes it's just more about time. I want you to discuss what are some of the opportunities, with the great opportunity this market is actually presenting right now for on the income side of trading.
Yeah, and really, I think when you look at the difference in your financial life, there's really 2 components. You're either in that income and asset gathering part of your life, financial life, or you're in the retirement distribution phase. The way you approach the markets is different for each of those, and probably the most important of the 2 is income. Learning how to generate additional income will help you now to, maybe elevate your lifestyle a bit, or at least maintain the lifestyle you have.
I may disagree a little bit, though, because without any wealth, when is that income during retirement time?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. That's why income is so important, Josh, because not only can it help you while you're still accumulating assets, but when you retire, what goes away?
That income disappears.
The income from your job. So you still need income. You still have bills. The cost of living is still there. Being alive is not free, as we always say.
So do we just experience, I have some ESP? Or ESPN. Remember those commercials where I have ESPN? No, it's ESP when you're thinking other people's thoughts, right?
It's ESP.
There you go. But sorry to interrupt. I just got to throw that in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, talk about confusing.
Yeah, interrupting cow. You ever heard that joke?
No.
I won't say that today.
Okay, well,
I'll let you continue if you can remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can remember what I'm talking about. It's actually fairly important.
Okay, let's go.
Let's get back to it.
It's a good thing we have a long segment here.
Yeah, generating income is really critical. And when you think about it, if you need additional income, if you're looking for just the word income, it means that you have to be able to achieve whatever the benefit is you're looking for in a short-term time frame.
What does that mean, though?
It depends on you. It depends on the individual.
So you dictate that, then?
Yes. For some people, it's daily. Some people weekly. Some people monthly.
Okay.
Look, there is no one-size-fits-all strategy
I like that.
or process to use. Each person needs to have something that's specific to them. But the important thing, you mentioned in that last segment zones, and you mentioned supply and demand. Really, what we're basing our strategy on is just a basic economic concept that can't be argued, and that's that relationship between supply and demand. When there's more demand for something, price will go up. When there's more supply, price will go down. What we rely on is buying and selling. So instead of looking at demand and supply, look at demand as buyers. Where's an area where there's going to be buyers in a large enough quantity or with enough clout, in other words, enough money to move price, to create an additional demand of buyers. And then the opposite, instead of supply, look at it as sellers. Where are enough sellers going to enter the market on a particular asset or the markets in general to make it go down? So it really becomes important to be able to identify those areas. And basically what I'm saying is it's critical to know how to time things. And I'm not talking about what's going to happen to the market in 6 months or a year or 2 years. What we're talking about is timing entry and exits for a trade. And once this timing, it's a skill. It's not, you can't just assume you're going to be able to do this. You have to build a skill based on some knowledge to be able to do it. When you have the skills to be able to time your entry and your exits, by the way, there's 2 exits. There's an exit if you're wrong, so you never have a big loss. You only have a small loss when you're wrong. And there's an exit if you're right, so you get the full potential of what the profit potential is. So once you have developed that skill, though, that becomes more important than actually what you are trading. When to enter, when to exit, which you'll learn on a price chart, as Josh mentioned before. You'll learn to read a price chart like a radiologist reads an x-ray, because everything you need to know is on that price chart. The most important thing is on a price chart identifying where the people that are going to move price, where they're going to do it. What is the correct price area, the zone that you want to identify to put the odds in your favor of that position moving the direction you need it to go. And then how far is it going to go? That's the difference between where the buyers and the institutional sellers are. That's your profit potential. It's critical to be able to do that, especially in this kind of a market where things move so quickly. But you can't spend a lot of time doing what Wall Street might educate you on doing, and that's analyzing things, over-analyzing things, trying to put together 2 or 3 or 4 different technical indicators. You don't need that. What you need is just identifying where the big buyers and where the big sellers are. If you can learn a strategy that does that, you are putting the odds in your favor of being profitable more often than not.
And it simply does just come down to is having that strategy, but you kind of hit the nail and kind of wrapped around the story there is having odds and probabilities in your favor. And we have these power trading workshops where we go through these trading strategies that add odds and probabilities in your favor. And the overall strategy is what that might look like. So I'm going to invite you to a power trading workshop right here in the metro area. We have these classes on the weekends, during the day and evenings, so anybody can attend. Matter of fact, we're all across the metro. We have classes at our state-of-the-art facility right here in Bloomington, but all across the metro as well. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 seats for this power trading workshop. And that's one for you and one for a friend. Or you can go to investingandtradinglive.com and you can pick your own date and seat there. Also, part of the podcast is also on that the site there as well, so you can check out the podcast if you missed part of that. So text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for a power trading workshop to get started. So I want to stay on this topic of trading because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, it's a very exciting topic that people see things about, whether it's actual or not. You're seeing all this stuff online. Now, what the important thing is to be able to have people guide you through investments and trades, and people that have been on the floors of the exchanges, people that have experience teaching it too, because I mean there's people that know how to trade out there, but not everybody knows how to teach it. Now, why is it so important to have a mentor as far as in your trading journey?
Well, these markets are irrational, they're unpredictable, and having somebody that can help guide you through those periods of unpredictability is really important. If you're going to learn to do anything, it doesn't make any difference what it is. If you're going to learn to do something, the best way to do it, the quickest way to do it, is to learn from somebody who knows how to do it successfully and has a proven track record of that. If you learn from somebody who worked on the floor of the Chicago Board of Options, for example, trading in the options pits, or maybe trading futures on the mercantile exchange, maybe running a hedge fund, those people know not only what works, but they know what doesn't work. And it's just as important to know what not to do as it is to know what to do. So, why go through those trials and errors yourself? I mean, you can try to do this on your own. The market is a great educator. It's the most expensive educator there is. So you can bypass a lot of that by just following in the footsteps of not only the institutions that are moving price, but learning how to identify it from people that were part of those groups. And that's the guys that we have that teach our classes, Josh, are full-time traders. A lot of them maybe still run hedge funds or worked on the floor of the Chicago Board of Options. These are the people that are willing to share their knowledge with you, and not only share their knowledge as far as giving you what you need to know from an education standpoint. They'll help you build the skills to use it, but then also to give you the guidance, the support, and the mentoring that if you look at almost any other profession out there, physicians have basically mentors, people that work with them, that are there showing them what to do and then guiding them when they actually do it. That's what we want to do, and we think is the best way to learn is to actually get your hands dirty, start doing something, but do it with somebody who can guide you in the right direction. So you learn as quickly as possible how to be, as we mentioned before, consistent in your trading.
Yeah, it's consistency is key. I was having a conversation with a good friend a while back, and they talked about trading, and obviously, we know what we do for our careers and everything. Sure. And just talking about, I always have a couple good trades, and I got one that it always gets me. I got caught, they say. And I said, well, what is your strategy? Do you have an exit point? Do you have protection on it? And no, I just buy it and I hope it goes up. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, there's your problem, is you don't know you don't know which direction you're going. It's like getting in your car and saying, okay, get in, close your eyes, and try to get the drive button to go forward, or hit just guess which button is to go in reverse. And he's like, that's a good point. I really need to know where I'm going, which turning the GPS on first, and then follow steps and rules. In the GPS example, follow, turn left, follow, turn right. And that's the same thing that we have here at the Academy is a strategy that is designed to help, one, for you to follow those banks, institutions, right, and essentially do what they're doing, ride along their coattails, but then building a strategy where you don't even have to be right every single time. Because when you have proper capital management, you don't need to be right every time. And nobody's right every time. So then the math works itself out. And by the way, you do not need to know math as a trader or investor.
No,
I had a conversation with a young lady a while back, and she was like, I don't know math. How am I going to do this? I said, well, you don't need to. It's not like you got to go there and do the Pythagorean theorem. Al, do you know what the Pythagorean theorem is?
I used to, Josh.
It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
You just looked that up, didn't you?
No, I knew that. I did. I was in construction, so I actually had to use that theorem.
All right.
But you don't need to know that math to be a trader or an investor, because the computer does it automatically for you. You just put your entry point and target, and it's very similar to as Al refers to a lot is a radiologist reading an X-ray. You and I could probably go into an X-ray office, I don't even know if that's what they call them, but and look at an X-ray and say, what the heck are we looking at?
Yeah, right.
But we get someone that was trained and say, here's what you're looking at. That's the bone, that's the crack right there, and all that stuff. And it's just a trained skill. Okay. Same thing in the markets. And it's a visual thing. And I think most people are visual learners. So I feel it's easier to do that than a lot of other skills. But you got to have those steps. So that's why we have these power trading workshops, so we can introduce you to these steps, what that looks like in a strategy, how to make smart investing decisions, whether you're in your trading accounts for short term, or maybe it's a longer term strategy to build wealth for later. Simply just text the word investing to the number 210, and that'll be for 2 seats for a power trading workshop right here in the Metro. We have several locations. Text investing to the number 210, or go to investingandtradinglive.com and you can pick your own seat there. So when you're texting in, you'll get a text within probably 2 seconds. You got to click the link, and that goes straight to our landing page. That way you can pick your own date and time. So text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for the power trading workshop near you. Al, we got more to discuss. Income strategies, which actually builds that wealth. So we'll talk about those wealth strategies as well. So stay tuned. We got a lot more to discuss, and the upcoming opportunities that we have moving forward. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.